Good Tuesday morning to you all. You're welcome back to the Kaiser Report. I'm John. I'm coming to you today to talk about a few things that are going on. One that's tantamount on everyone's mind is the second assassination attempt on Donald Trump, which took place at a golf course down in Florida. They have captured this individual that was responsible for the attempt at an assassination. And it's very puzzling looking at what they have released on the background of this individual. And we are still waiting with bated breath for the FBI, which has basically covered up everything on the first assassination attempt. And now, for some reason, they're in charge of wiping this one up. So we don't know where it's going or how much truth we're going to have. They have indicted this fellow with charges, 2 gun charges, federal gun charges, but not an assassination attempt as of yet. The puzzlement to me is, why is Mayorkas in charge of these Secret Service investigations that should be taken care of by them and Homeland Security, which we know he's in charge of, and that's worked out so well with all of the border problems that we have. But yet they continue to let him run these investigations. Well, I don't trust Alejandro Mayorkas as far as anyone can throw him. The Senate and the hearing committees that have had him up on charges or up for investigation and impeachment have failed at this because of his attitude and the protectionism of this current administration that watches out for their appointments. And no one has been fired over the first assassination attempt. We had the head of Secret Service supposedly resign only because she was caught dead to rights with mishandling everything as it was in that incident. But no one's been fired. Joe doesn't fire anybody. And let me tell you, as sure as I'm sitting here talking to you now, the other one, Harris, isn't going to fire anybody either, should that take place. And she's in charge. There's a lot of questions being asked right now with little to no answers coming from anyone in charge with regard to who this guy was. It's come out that he has ties to the Ukraine and so on and so on. And then the conspiracy theories on both sides are going to start to fly around all over the internet. So we have to be careful on what we take as being the truth. And whether or not the FBI is going to get an in-depth investigation underway leaves serious doubt in my mind.
Liars.
We have corrupt heads of 3-letter agencies. We know that. It's been said over and over again. We've witnessed it. So what makes you think that it's going to get any better right now when they're all sweating whether or not they're going to have a job after the November election? So it doesn't take a Rhodes Scholar to understand that these people are in self-protection mode and they don't care. It's everything for the left and keep us in power, and the hell with what happens to anybody else. The lies that come out and the rhetoric that comes out of the Democratic Party leads up to making people think, because they're saying it, that we have a threat to democracy, and we have somebody that is Hitler, and we have this is going to take place, and everyone is going to jail, and everybody's going to be locked up. These people keep saying this, and it's aided and abetted by the mainstream media every day of the week and twice on Sundays. We know what's going on. We can see what's going on. They no longer hide what they're saying. It's right up front, falling out of their lips.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Press always asks me, don't I wish I were debating him? No, I wish we were in high school, I could take him behind the gym. That's what I wish.
I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
That you cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
President Walker, how do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
When they go low, we kick.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Which reminds me of this entire 3 3/4 years that we've listened to lie after lie after lie about whose fault everything is, and they take no claim for the mistakes that they made, such as Afghanistan withdrawal and the economy under Bidenomics that has gone into the toilet, and the rise of inflation that they have no plans of making any better. They have plans of making it worse. She's telling you right now what she wants to give away in money that we don't have and would have to print to do this, and it's in the trillions of dollars. And then we owe in debt trillions of dollars that has to be balanced somewhere in a budget that is a doable payback situation to get us out of this debt sequence that we're in as a result of government spending like drunken sailors. These are the issues, these are the substance that we're lacking from these people running for this position of the CEO of this country. We're not getting substance, we're getting word salad from one side about an opportunity economics. What? Please. The opportunity exists for you to stay in power and continue the destruction sequences that your administration is currently in now, and you just want a promotion so you can continue it. That's what you need to realize, folks. That's all she is about, is continuing in the same vein that they're doing it now. Her saying that she's not going to ban fracking all of a sudden should be a warning to you. That's a lie. The other guy has a track record of turning some things around and putting some money back in the coffers, and now he's giving us substance about how we're going to regulate the spending and get this country back on track. We're getting no substance from the left side whatsoever, and now with this government shutdown looming And they're trying to tie a bill into this continuing resolution that they're going to come up with to protect our voting rights. And Schumer has already said it's tabled. He's not going to take it to a vote. What does this tell you about the Democratic Party? They want all these illegals voting because they have bought their votes by letting them in the country and giving them every award possible and help in getting housing, in getting credit cards, in getting driver's licenses, and in some cases signed up for voting and given cell phones, and you just name it, they get it. While our veterans are living in tents in the street in some cities with no help whatsoever from this administration. And then you have the population of cities such as Chicago, such as San Francisco, LA, now San Diego, Phoenix, Denver, all of the people that are in need, that are citizens in those particular sanctuary places, are being passed aside so we can support people that came in from Venezuela, Haiti, and every other place across the globe that are given every social aid program available to the illegal entrants and bypassing the citizenry that is in need in some of these areas. Not to mention, they're gone into the black neighborhoods and the Hispanic neighborhoods and filled them with a population of people that are getting the goods while the citizens of those cities and places in those cities are onlooking. They've had it. They don't want this anymore. No one here wants 20 million people illegally in this country. Some, we have no idea where they are. We don't want them voting. We, the people of the United States, will take care of our country. I'm not anti-immigrant, but come in the proper way. Now, I watched something yesterday with Peter Santorelli, was up at the New York State northern border with Canada, and they have a crisis going on up there as well. They're coming in as visitors to Canada and coming across the border. And they're coming in basically from what the trooper that was carrying Peter around said were from Senegal and places of that nature that have been issued visiting visas by Toronto or other places in Canada and end up coming across the New York State border. And they're not being arrested. They're being gathered up by the Border Patrol and once again given them the option of coming back to a court date 5 or 6 years down the road. There is a problem with our immigration system. There is a problem with our border. And the current administration will tell you that, oh, well, Congress needs to pass more laws and hire more Border Patrol agents. This is not the answer to this. We are the only place in the world right now we have no border. People can just pour in at their goodwill. And this has to be corrected. And they don't like the fact that the other side that is running for presidency right now has the answer, and it's the answer that will work, and they don't want that to happen because they have better needs for these people that are coming in. Whether it's to replace your job with someone that will work for a quarter of what you do, or they're packing up people into certain places for voting purposes. It's as plain as the nose on your face if you take the minute and look at what is really going on. It's not good for any of us. Now, let's go across the globe and look at what's happening. We're on the brink of World War III. If this is not handled diplomatically and correctly, which we have no one in this administration capable of doing, we're going to end up in a war that is not going to be a good one for the United States. So, all of you leaning left better take a good look, because the far left radicals are in charge of your party right now with no good intent, unless it benefits them. The Democratic Party is not the Democratic Party that we experienced growing up. It's changed. Open your eyes and look at the changes that have been put upon us just back up 10 years. It's not good. We do have an answer if we stop trying to kill the opponents. And I'll tell you, it's very suspicious. The first one was very suspicious in its own right. And now this second attempt it leads to even more speculation, because it is that bizarre. How, first of all, it was not on his calendar to be there. So how would somebody know up front, 12 hours ahead of time, to get in the bushes and wait when they didn't even know that he was coming there? Unless you have an internal leak somewhere in one of the agencies. That's the first thing that leaps to mind for me. It'll be interesting if anything at all comes of this. It'll be interesting if anything at all comes from the gun charges that they put against him. This guy, it doesn't come from Florida. He came from out of state. He had stolen license plates on his vehicle. And by the grace of God, a Secret Service agent saw the barrel of the gun coming out of the hedgerow, which is a minor miracle in its own. And when they fired upon that target, he ran and got in the car. And a citizen with quick thinking got the license plate number and got in touch with someone immediately. And they caught this guy off of Route 95, but probably 50, 60 miles away. And he's grinning like a jackass eating briars sitting in the back of the police car. And I'll tell you, I don't think this guy is just a crazy mental case, because he looks like he has been trained to do what he was up to. And then he has a history of being in the Ukraine and recruiting U.S. citizens to go fight for the Ukraine. So, where's the connections here? A doesn't marry with B anymore. And the FBI getting involved that quickly indicates to me that there's going to be another cover-up. I hope not. But that's the news cycle today, probably most of today and tomorrow, unless something breaks big. There's not too much to talk about. We all know that the Israeli situation is still going. The Ukraine situation is still going internationally. We're making mistake after mistake in not doing something with Iran that we should have done months and months ago.
Nip it in the bud.
You have a president that's among the missing most days, and then he shows his face to say he's glad that the guy didn't get killed. But the rhetoric that comes out of the Democratic Party, and it comes out of the mouths of the bought and paid for legacy media, whips these things up. And as I tell you all the time, we have weaker minds out there, ill-educated minds, and also uninformed people that are starting to believe these things. And if they believe that their democracy is at a chance of collapsing because of one person, they will go after that person. Whether it's by voting or trying to kill them is up in the air. This is the Democratic Party with this rhetoric, and it's coming out of their senators, their House members, and mainstream media. He's Hitler. He's going to destroy this. He's going to destroy that. He's going to put you all in jail. He's going to send black people back into slavery. These are the things that they're saying, and I'm going to find a clip and run it for you. That is unbelievable, the rhetoric that's coming out, and the poison that is being put into the minds of this entire population, and God knows what they're telling the illegal population that is in this country, fast taking over places that used to be a wonderful visit that you can't feel safe walking in anymore. Ron DeSantis said today that he is going to conduct his own investigation into what happened there at the golf course. It'll be interesting. I think he's a fairly honest guy, and he may come up with something that they're trying to cover up. I don't know. We know very little. We're only allowed to hear what these three-letter agencies are going to put out to us.
That sucks.
About what a wonderful job that they do. How could this happen the first time? But you gotta really wonder how somebody could get within 300 yards of Donald J. Trump the second time inside of 2 months. Come on. Not a plausible scenario whatsoever. So anyway, it's Tuesday. We're started into a new week with a lot of surprises coming out of the weekend. The news cycles are everything but true. I mean, if you listen to CNN and CNBC, they're trying to blame Trump for the second assassination attempt. And they're blaming it on because they said something about the Haitian population in Ohio. How ridiculous can you be? How ridiculous is it that a big percentage of the population of this country will buy into that excuse? Look around at your neighbors and try to talk sense and pray every day that God will help us through this. He certainly is looking out for one man. We see that now twice. That's not luck, folks. Just saying. So Tuesday, we're going to have a rainy day here in East Tennessee, a relaxing day, and Kaiser and I are just going to hang around today, not do much. We're not going to get out much, but the end of this week, we're going to try to get up to a place called Little Switzerland and bring you some footage from up there in the mountains. It should be a gorgeous time of year right there at Little Switzerland, and we may stay overnight and bring you some film from there. They have a fantastic place this day. It's right on the Blue Ridge Parkway, And we have been there before. They used to have a wonderful Friday night seafood buffet, which I'm hoping they still do. I'm looking forward to that. It's pet friendly, so Kaiser can run around and feel great about being there, and I'll feel great about being there, even if I just sit in a seat and take pictures of the mountain views that you can enjoy from the yard there. It's unbelievably beautiful. So we're going to be looking forward to doing that this weekend for you and me and Kaiser and Mama. So we'll be out there. And hopefully everything will be calmed down by then, news cycle-wise, so we can go back to peace of mind and having fun one more time for another weekend. So I hope that you all are at peace of mind. If you're not, take a walk on the beach, take a walk into the woods, go out into the fresh air, sit on a log, and think and pray that we can save this country from the demise of what has been planned for us by the evil side of spirituality that has taken hold of this country and its politicians. And we need the guidance from God to vote correctly in November to save what we know is the greatest country in the world. And some of us gave all to keep this country the way it was. We cannot let a single party on either side destroy what we know is the greatest country in the world. And with that, I'm going to wish you a great rest of Tuesday, and we'll be back to you with a Kaiser Report tomorrow, Wednesday, Hump Day, and talk to you more about little Switzerland, I hope, and less about politics, because it's nauseating. And I'm sure it is to you as well. So God bless you all, and thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you back here on the Kaiser Report tomorrow morning. And until then, I'm going to say bye-bye for now. God bless.